Do I think humanitarian organizations should have intervened more actively in the genocide? I can't say that. I can't say that. The danger level, the danger factor is so intense in my mind that I'm not prepared to second guess them. The real crisis in the role of humanitarian organizations and NGOs in general came at the very end of the genocide, when the leadership of the killers forced or persuaded millions of Hutu to flee into the Congo. So you had these camps, we're talking about millions of people, where they proceeded to get sick as dogs. Cholera broke out. And before you knew it, the entire world's media that had almost ignored the genocide appeared in the east of the Congo, in Goma. And they were followed within hours by the world's entire panoply of humanitarian organizations fighting over each other to see who would serve these people best.
These must be graves.
They could be graves, yeah.
In terms of the aid agencies, everyone was here. When the refugees crossed the border, that's when the international community reacted, when the killing was finished inside of Rwanda, and they came here to help the refugees, who were mainly Hutus who had been pushed across the border. Yeah, so these are all now market stalls. There were over 100,000 people on this hill. There was a very well-established camp. People had built more or less nice homes, as much as you can with the volcanic rock and with tarps, and had very close together. They're living one on top of the other.
What was going on in eastern Congo in the days immediately after the genocide was the reconstruction of the old social structure in Rwanda, displaced from one country and planted in another country. That means that the refugee camps were run by the same people who ran Rwanda. And who were they? They were the génocidaires. The génocidaires would steal whatever food they wanted. They stole health products, they stole drugs, which we know they used to sell in exchange for guns that they were planning to use when they re-attacked Rwanda. We know all that. The dilemma that the NGOs faced was never more blatantly felt, and I don't want to have a simplistic answer to it. They had this choice. You either worked with génocidaires in distributing food and aid and medical assistance, or you let people die.
It reached a point where it was literally impossible to work with the genocidal regime. We were caught between a rock and a hard place. There's no perfect answer there. It was a political failure first. That failure left humanitarians in a situation where they had no choice but to choose in an impossible dilemma, and we made our choice.
Well, most NGOs decided to compromise. MSF was one that didn't. They moved out of Goma, and they said, we cannot be party to this kind of political prostitution where we are, in effect, backing up, supporting, reinforcing some of the most terrible people who've ever walked the face of the earth. And they split.
The hardest thing is leaving the staff and the people, because they know it's a very bad time when you're evacuating, and they're staying here, and to have to leave them behind and leave the people you're working with behind is extremely difficult, and not knowing what's going to happen when you're gone.